Hello and welcome to In the Know. I'm Mark Crosby of Quincy Access Television. Thank you for joining me and joining us. I'm joined in studio by the Norfolk County Sheriff. That would be Patrick McDermott. We have a lot to talk about. This is usually an update as to what is happening, what has happened, what is going to happen at the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office. So, Patrick, welcome. Great to have you, as always.
Thanks for having me back. I know that we have a little bit of a gap in time since I've been here last, so we have a lot to talk about. So looking forward to sharing a few things that we've been up to in the Sheriff's Office and some of the plans we have for the rest of the summer.
There's so much going on. I think you and I chatted about this. There really is never a lack of material for us to discuss.
No, there's always something. And I think of like 5 things after I leave here that we got to put on the agenda for next month. So
excellent. I like that.
That's it. It's always something.
So, Sheriff's Summer Safety Fests. This is something that is ongoing.
So we started a series of family fun events called the Sheriff's Summer Safety Fests last year. They're designed to bring people together. I mean, it's the summertime, so we want to encourage people to be outside, come and enjoy a very safe, family-friendly event. Incredibly popular. I mean, we had hundreds of people show up at the events last year, and I'm excited to bring them back again this year. We kicked it off with a showcase of our Braintree campus, brought people home to us, and fabulous success back in June. We were dodging the weather a little bit, and we were able to successfully make it through that day. We're having another big event in Medway, which will be coming up on the 28th of July. And that's kind of highlighted at Medway High School, highlighting where our summer camp is, our secondary youth leadership camp is. So we're highlighting that, and so we're encouraging people to come out early, sign up, because a special treat for everybody at the Medway Summer Safety Fest is the ability for anybody ages 10 and older to jump on a ropes course at Medway. So a little added extra attraction, but we're also coming there with, various safety protocol things, swim safety, bicycle safety, fire safety. We bring our usual touch a truck festivities to the event, and the highlight is always the tactical picnic unit, which is always there to serve burgers and hot dogs. And if we do everything correctly, we also bring out our snow cone machine, another big popular attraction. So that'll be in Medway, July 28th, and then we'll round out the summer in August in Sharon on August 12th. And that one's another special attraction because we have it at the Crescent Ridge Dairy in Sharon. So not only do you get your burger, your dog, your snow cone, but you get a classic ice cream as well at Crescent Ridge Dairy in Sharon. So we look forward to having them every year. The focus is to just bring families together, entertaining. It's also just those summer safety issues that we always want to make sure. And that we also want to encourage healthy activities. Certainly sunscreen, we always encourage that. I wish I encouraged it for myself. I'm a little bit ruddy, as they say, because of my sun exposure this year. But it is going to be a great, it's been a great summer so far. Medway, Sharon coming up, and we encourage all families to come on. Follow us on social media. You'll get the latest update as we have these events.
Well, you and I are fair-haired, so therefore we tend to burn as opposed to tan.
I can get a sunburn at midnight just under the moon, so that's how that works.
I hear you, totally hear you. Okay, find your voice. This is, I suppose, right up your alley.
Really is. It's something that is near and dear to my heart. I mean, there's a lot of camps that go on, including ours, that our youth leadership camp has a lot of athletic kind of approach to it. And I recognize, including myself as a kid growing up, wasn't as athletic as other kids in the neighborhood. And it's still, that exists today. But there are kids with other talents, and specifically talents for the arts, visual arts, performing arts. And so we partnered up with, we met a young woman at the Quincy Chamber of Commerce who runs the South Shore Children's Chorus, and very passionate about what she does in teaching kids around the South Shore. And we said, wouldn't it be a great opportunity for a summer program that could teach the leadership curriculum that we teach the kids at our youth camp, but use it in a way with arts as a theme. So we launched the Find Your Voice program this summer. It's a 3 individual week programs down in Braintree at the Cats Academy. So it's kind of in conjunction of where we are for our youth leadership camp. And a great opportunity for teens, preteens to get together, challenge themselves, push their comfort zones a little bit, and engaging in the arts. They participate in both vocal arts, singing, songwriting, as well as visual arts, as painting, arts and crafts, all while under the tutelage of a team that talks about leadership, anti-bullying, good decision making, and it all works out fantastically. So we'll see you this Friday as I'll go down and check out the graduation from the first Find Your Voice. We'll get the feedback from the kids. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Sounds like a great
And if
time.
you want to, if
Absolutely.
anybody sees this, has a child or a grandchild, niece or nephew, there are openings for the second and third week as well. So if you sign on to the South Shore Children's Chorus website, which is SSCC Horace, South Shore Children's Chorus.com/Find Your Voice, and you can sign up and get a spot.
Excellent. We do have that on screen. And there is the, well, you added to their website. I think you got a little more specific,
There you
but
go.
not hard to find. And certainly it seems like a great take.
It's a great take, and looking forward to what the kids come up with too. So it's the beginning of, I think, future things to come, and we've got a lot of plans to build out the Find Your Voice program.
We are recording this program on July 26th, and this next, I suppose, feature of the
Yes.
Sheriff's Office is right on top of us. That's the free youth hockey clinic.
So we always want to make sure in the Sheriff's Office that we provide programming that teaches children positive life lessons. And so we make sure that they can make the right decisions as they grow. So this is a program that was originally run many years ago under Sheriff Bellotti. And we've been able to bring it back this year. We think it's a great opportunity for kids through hockey, street hockey. And so it's a Hockey Cares for Kids program. It's a nonprofit that we bring in, focus on improving the lives specifically of some economically disadvantaged kids and families through the sport of hockey. And what's unique about this, I mean, we are having it technically tomorrow, July 27th at 11 a.m. down at Brill Field down in Howes Neck in Quincy. It's for ages 6 through 13. And it's a great partnership that Hockey Cares for Kids has with the Boston Bruins Alumni Association. So there'll be some retired Bruins players that will come down, work with the kids, sign autographs, play some hockey, teach them some lessons about nutrition, healthy eating habits, also some anti-bullying and leadership skills development that are so important for kids to keep them on the right track. And hopefully, as we say every week at our youth leadership camp, at the end, don't just let these lessons die inside of you. Share them with other people, bring them back to school, bring them to your local community and your friends. So we're expecting the same thing. So last minute, if this gets out to the community, if anybody wants to sign up, you can actually send us an email at outreach@norfolksheriffma.org.
Go over that once again.
So it's outreach, OUTREACH, at norfolksheriffma.org.
Very good. All right, let's talk about some awards.
So recognition is always great, whether we recognize our fellow employees, we participate in our team efforts. I know that QATV has always celebrated numerous awards, so it's always great to get recognized for hard work, commitment, and following through on a vision.
And thank you for recognizing us.
Absolutely, the name of the game. So last week, we were able to have the honor of receiving what's known as the FBI LEADER Trilogy Agency Award. So FBI, obviously the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI partners up with a national nonprofit called LEADER, which is Law Enforcement Education Association, Development Association. And FBI LEDA itself is an organization nationally that trains law enforcement professionals on leadership skills. And the FBI Trilogy Award is given to individuals. I'm proudly wearing somewhere around here, I had it on, there it is, my Trilogy pin. So in order to receive a Trilogy Award from the FBI leader, you have to participate and successfully complete 3 separate institutes within the program: the Supervisory Institute, the Command Leadership Series, and then the Executive Leadership Series. I participated over the course of almost 2 years to get my Trilogy Award. And at the same time, I encouraged our staff, my command staff, and all of my officers, my captains and my lieutenants, to also get their individual FBI Trilogy. When every member of the command staff is officially awarded the FBI Trilogy Award, that qualifies the agency for the Agency Trilogy Award. And so we were very proud to have Chief Donna McNamara, who's the Chief of Police in Stoughton, a Norfolk County Sheriff alum. She started out as a corrections officer, went through the ranks of the PD, became Chief of Police, became the president of FBI LEDA, and we were blessed to be able to have her come and present us with the award for that award. Very proud of it. We are the first sheriff's office in Massachusetts to qualify for it, and we are only the 85th agency in the country to ever qualify for the agency award. So we're really proud of what we've been able to accomplish. Really proud of my team. This program itself helps develop leaders, and when those leaders get into our office, they're also then encouraging the next generation of leaders. So we encourage education, we encourage leadership development. So we're really proud of this award.
Congratulations, first off, and to both you and your staff. Great
Good
job, and what a mark to make both locally and nationally.
Right, and it doesn't stop there too. And I encourage my staff, and I encourage everybody. I mean, we ought not to stop learning when you graduate from college or you get a master's degree or your law degree, as I did. I consider myself a lifetime learner. You're never too old to learn more stuff. And so these programs that I participate with in the law enforcement realm are great for me. It's great for my staff. So I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. And you have to continue to do it. And I'm heading down next week or 2 weeks from now. I'll be down for a week-long training with the National Sheriff's Institute down at the FBI National Academy down in Quantico, Virginia. And that's an intensive week program that I hopefully will qualify by the end of the week and pass that, and bring that knowledge back to the team as well. So lifetime learning. I encourage everybody, no matter who you are, young or old, learn, and always self-improve.
Because a lot of times you will hear people say, you use it or you lose it.
Correct.
Let's talk about something called the Hope Center.
So when I first became sheriff, when I was running for sheriff, I talked about the 4 pillars that I was running on that I thought embodied what the values that we really wanted to share with the people of Norfolk County. And the 4 pillars were prevention, education, intervention, and hope. And so those 4 pillars were something I ran on. It's something that's in our mission statement at the sheriff's office. And it's something that we really wanted to foster and encourage throughout our agency, both inside the 4 walls of the jail as well as outside in our community programs. So everything we do focuses on the 4 pillars. But then we kind of did a deep dive and we started focusing on, well, what does the hope component look like? And how do we want to treat that final pillar? Because that's really the success story is the hope part. And we really kind of brainstormed. We realized that there was a lot of people that we were missing in terms of the continuum of care after folks leave the confines of the sheriff's office, in post-incarceration world. So we want to develop a program that caters to those folks, as well as keeping with the 4 principles as well, the 4 pillars, prevents from criminal behavior from happening in the first place. So we came up with the concept of the Hope Center. The Hope Center stands for healing, opportunity, purpose, and engagement. And it really kind of deep dives as to what hope is all about. The men that go through the criminal justice system and serve time, oftentimes with mental illness, they come from broken homes, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, then incarceration. These folks are at the lowest of the low. There's nowhere else sometimes to go. We want to encourage them that there is a new pathway after they've served their time. We make sure that they learn, they build skills while they're at the jail. But now post-incarceration, we want to be able to send them someplace, to know that they have ongoing resources available to them, not just in some of the skill set that they developed, but we want to continue on with their reentry when it comes to housing, when it comes to financial insecurity, meaning getting a job, making sure they stick with their job, making sure that there's mental health counseling available, substance use disorder counseling, AA meetings, NA meetings. We want to make sure that there's a place that all of these people can find what we call hope. And that comes in various shapes and forms. So we're very excited to launch this in the fall. We're looking for a location to actually house this program. We have a couple of ideas, and hopefully I'll come back with a definitive location. But we're really looking forward to this. This is going to be a defining program for, I think, why I ran for sheriff. And I think this will help with reducing recidivism rates, meaning people rotating through the criminal justice system, as well as giving people opportunities that they've never themselves saw in themselves. And so we're really excited about it.
Well, I think reentry can be overwhelming.
Of course, well, a lot of the reentry plans that we see sometimes, there are no plans. And we're working on making sure that every individual reentry starts on day one when they come into the facility, and we meet that individual where they are. Some of these guys don't have a high school education. Some of them have very little skills, if any. Some of them have gone through jobs their entire life and have never been able to hold on to one. So we identify individually where they stand, what we can do to help give them the education, the skills that will actually translate into success post-incarceration. And it's the little not little things in life, but when you think about it, things that you take advantage, that you take
For granted.
For granted. Housing. A lot of these guys don't have a place to live once they leave. I've seen Father Bill's place as a residence on some reentry forms. Not acceptable. We need to make sure there's transitional housing in place throughout Norfolk County for these men to go back to. We don't want them going back into the original environment that brought them to the criminal justice system in the first place. And we want to make sure they have secure jobs. We've identified well over 300 Corey-friendly employers that are ready, willing, and able to hire these guys, provided we give them the skills. They'll be there. We're launching the Carpenters Union program right now, which is an intensive program with the New England Carpenters Center over in Dorchester. The men that get through this program are guaranteed to have an apprenticeship when they leave the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office. And those apprenticeship programs can earn well into the six figures. So these guys, talk about hope, that gives them hope.
That's a good way to end that topic. Certainly a great program. Let's talk about a graduation and something called Nurturing Fathers.
So this is something that it's kind of a continuation of my work that I was doing back at the Probate and Family Court for 18 years. When I watched, men go through the crisis, a family crisis, a divorce, and child support, custody issues. It gets exacerbated once you're incarcerated. You have no ability to pay. You have no ability to really communicate and be able to raise your children. So, and some of them, these men, they're there because of some of the conflicts they've had within their family. Sometimes it's domestic abuse. Sometimes it's abandonment. And this program for Nurturing Fathers reconnects men with their families, with their kids, and sometimes with their spouse or their significant other. It's a 13-week intensive program. I was very proud of the men that just graduated from this program. Perfect attendance. That's something we've never had before. This class was great. And to graduate from this class, and each one of them got up and made a presentation with their families in the room. You know, their kids were there, their wives, sometimes their mother, and they said that this was a life-changing moment for them. That it, once again, gives them hope, knowing that they can actually be better fathers even while they're incarcerated with the communication skills they're developing. And plus, with the opportunities that we're providing, they know that they can then leave our facility and be able to financially support their family. And we're also helping them too with some of their court problems that they might have had over at my old place at the probate court. So great graduation ceremony. I'm very proud of the guys, what they've been able to accomplish. And now it's a matter of putting what they've learned into practice.
Yes. Let's turn now to the Mobile Drone Command Center.
So one of the first things we did at the sheriff's office when I became sheriff, I wanted to create some specialty units within the sheriff's office that could help law enforcement, our partners out in law enforcement, with various law enforcement issues, crisis issues, barricaded suspects, missing people, and marrying up with technology is something that I thought was a well-spent investment. And so drones had just kind of picked up steam and momentum as a great tool for law enforcement. So we invested early. First, we went from 1 pilot to 4. We have 6 actual drone units themselves. And the tough part was deploying them. So we had like an old van that we just kind of threw all the stuff in, and the guys would go out on a call. Still very effective, but in order to really professionalize the operation, we came across what's known as the Draxon DX 1000. And it's a fantastic vehicle that, you know, for those of the people that have seen our mobile command center, which is a large like RV that goes out to crises, to major events, and serves as a communication hub. This smaller version, this van that's been converted to a drone unit, fully operated with all kinds of telecommunications. We're able to house all of our drone units there. The team goes out. It's very easily mobile to get in and out of various situations. And drones actually save lives. Drones consistently, when they are deployed in a situation, can come back with a lot of positive things. We've done up numerous missing people. We've been able to help find. There's an example. I'm not even sure if drones were used in this, but I know a helicopter was. But in our situation with a kid that went missing recently in like farm country somewhere, and they actually found him just wandering through the cornfields. And whenever there's somebody missing, our drone unit in and of itself has heat-seeking technology that can actually locate where people are, even in darkness. So this will save lives. And our officers who have gone through very strict programming, licensing through the Federal Aviation Administration, are really top-notch and are now a major resource for law enforcement agencies throughout Norfolk County and beyond because of our partnership with what's known as Metrolec. And so that unit goes out just about on every call.
I'd like to end with legislation. Talk about current legislation as it relates to your office.
Yeah, so there's a lot of bills that are filed annually. Most don't take on much legs or steam, but more recently there's a bill that was filed in both the Senate and the House on a prison moratorium bill. And I understand why elected officials that's kind of why they would want to shut down on prison construction. Some say, you know, that we've decarcerated, therefore we don't need new prisons. Largely stems from Framingham, shutting down the Framingham Women's Prison, which in and of itself needed to be shut down. But new facilities need to be built. Our facility we're old. Even though we're one of the newest facilities online in Massachusetts, but we're 40 years old. And the services that we're looking to provide in 21st century corrections doesn't quite meet the physical facility that we have. So, and I'm no different than any other sheriffs across the Commonwealth in terms of what we're trying to do to invest in our facilities to make them a more hospitable environment for not only the people that we serve, the men that are coming in and who are sentenced, but their families that are coming in to visit, the attorneys that are coming in to work on their cases. Our medical unit is so bad, I'd be embarrassed to show it to you, and I'd certainly be embarrassed to show it to the people in Norfolk County. So a prison moratorium bill would be an ultimate failure to the people of Massachusetts if it were allowed to be passed. Now, the danger zone with this, why do I talk about this one bill when none of them usually get steam? This bill passed the legislature last year, and it was vetoed by Governor Baker. We weren't paying attention last year, and it happened. This year, the sheriffs and the Department of Correction are very unified on making sure that that the legislature are educated on what we're trying to do.
And we do have a new administration.
And there's and Governor Healy, I've had a couple of conversations with Governor Healy. In particular, I had one over at the ambassador's residence in Ireland while I went over there last month. And I specifically said what we're trying to do. And she said she gets it. She understands. It doesn't mean there isn't merit to what some of the other legislators are putting forth, why the moratorium they want to put forth for 5 years. But I think we need a bigger discussion. And now that the sheriffs are engaged, the Department of Corrections are engaged, I think we're going to have a better discussion moving forward. But we still want the bill killed.
Well, Sheriff, believe it or not, we are at the end of this program. We we didn't have time to go around the county, but I think a lot of our topics, this discussion really did travel around the county. Yeah,
we were in Medway, we were down in Weymouth, we've been in Braintree and in Quincy. And we're looking forward to getting out about this summer too. A lot of events down at Foxborough, down at Gillette Stadium. Our team is down there at all the concerts and all the football games and things like that. So the Sheriff's Office is real active in Norfolk County, and the programming that we're putting forth, I think at the end of the day, really serves the people in Norfolk County, and they can be rest assured that our focus is on public safety and making sure that each and every member of the community feels safe where they reside and where they work and where their kids go to school.
I couldn't end it on a better note. Thank you, Sheriff, as always, for joining us here.
Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome. And thank you at home for watching. And please remember to support the local access center in the city or the town in which you reside. Take care.